So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of minutes and talk to you guys about actually curing cannabis, and I'm also going to give you a little bit of a product review of the Cure Lid. It's the first time I use this, and give you guys some tips and tricks of what I found out about using the Cure Lid as well. What's going on, guys? It's Chris here from Ambrosia Buds, and when it comes to growing cannabis or cultivating cannabis at home or growing your own, just because you've finished growing the plant doesn't mean you can't still screw up the final product. And because when it comes to like the finish line of your final product, it really boils down to the cure. And the cure is probably, to me, one of the most important parts of the cannabis, because it's the one thing that preserves all the hard work, love, and effort that you put into growing the plant, like these right here, right? So there are a couple of main factors I want to talk about, because you can definitely screw up your final product by curing it the wrong way. And what do I mean by that? For one, it's all about temperature and humidity. Roughly, most of the rule is 60 degrees at 60% humidity is what you want to shoot for when you're curing cannabis. You don't want to cure cannabis fast, okay? And I know if this is your first harvest or your first time grower or something like that, the impatience is like right there at your heels, and you just want the final product. So don't make a huge mistake by trying to like dry it in the oven at a super low temp or anything like that, guys. It really does take the proper timing, temperature, and humidity to get this right. And if you don't do this right, what happens is your cannabis isn't going to have the potency, it's not going to have the taste, it's not going to burn as good, it's not going to have the odor. Just overall, the way I look at it is, imagine you have a really nice like sports car or classic car, and it's dirty and you want to wash it. Well, you wouldn't wash the car and then just forget to rinse off the soap and then not chamois it, right? You want the perfect cure in order to get the perfect product, and that's what we're going to get into. So main thing I would shoot for, like when I cure, what I do is this right here is a Jungle Breath one. Come harvest day, I usually, a day or two before harvest day, I'll come by and take a majority of these fan leaves off, but not all of them. And then I'll chop the plant and I hang them upside down for, I'd say, anywhere from 3 to 7 days. Well, that's what I did this time before I used the Cure Lid, and we'll get into that in a minute. But if you don't have a Cure Lid, what you're looking at is you want a controlled room or a cool room that's completely dark. Your plants need to cure in the dark. That's very important, because what you want to avoid is any kind of bud rot or mold, and you want a good air circulation going to your plants as well. Don't overdo it. Just, air moving just at a slight pace is pretty much what you're shooting for. You don't have to you don't need a blow dryer on your plants, okay? But without the Cure Lid, I'd say it takes roughly 10 to 14 days to properly cure your cannabis. There's plenty of other videos of what to shoot for that you guys, I'll actually put some up at the end of this video, so if you really want to get scientific about it, you can watch those. But basically, you want a good snap on the branch and like a dry touch to the actually outside leaves. But I normally chop, hang upside down for a few days, and then I come in and trim as much as I can off. And this harvest I actually got a bowl trimmer that I did a review on in one video, so you guys can check that out. And I love my bowl trimmer. It did a really good job, saved me a whole lot of time. But yeah, so chop them. You don't want to take all the fan leaves off, and I'll tell you a secret behind that, because what's happening is, even though after you chop your plant down, it's gonna pull back moisture, and that moisture it's not bad, okay? Because what you want is a slow dry. It's like aging a wine, okay? And if you guys are trying to fast dry, that's why you don't want to fast dry it. So I cut like about half of them off, I'd say, because I still want to keep enough moisture in the plant where it dries slow and it doesn't over dry the plant. And yes, you can over dry the plant as well. But the main thing you want to avoid when you're curing is you just don't want mold developing on your plant or on your buds, and that's kind of why you just want to keep it in a dark room. But let's get into the Cure Lid, because this is the first time I used one of these. This is the box it came in, and this is part of it. So this is the lid itself. It goes on a 5-gallon bucket. It's a touch screen. This is chargeable. I can actually take this off. Hold on. So this is the cure lid itself, the unit, and this screws onto this Gamma bucket lid, okay? And this is a little carbon filter. And what this does, it has two different settings on it. It basically, it reads your relative humidity and your temperature, and I can set it to pump recycle the air in the bucket, which I have right here. And then there's this lip that goes on the bucket, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute because I had a huge problem when I first started using this lid. So basically you have two different settings, and what you can do is you can choose to pump every 6 hours. Yeah, every 6 hours or every 12 hours. I set it to the room I had, and because the room I was using was controlled, so it was it was like 65 degrees temperature wise, and basically every 6 hours it would pump out whatever's building up in the bucket as far as humidity, and just keeps recycling that air. It has a counter on it as well, so it tells you how many days the bud has been in, or the cannabis has been in the bucket curing. And they come with a couple of like dry erase stickers, so you can put on the lid and you can write down like what strains in there and whatnot. But one of the things I want to talk about with this cure lid is that I had a problem with. If you guys have never put on a Gamma, like a Gamma lid, and this is a food grade bucket as well, but if you've never put on one of these lids, because when I first got this lid, it was one piece, because this screws. So you got to screw it to get airtight, and what it does is when it pumps, it's a vacuum, okay? So zero pressure in there. And this thing was tight. And a trick, I'm gonna tell you guys a little tip and a trick on this, is the easiest way to get this lid completely sealed onto this bucket is to use a rubber mallet. I've seen videos where people were like jumping on it and stomping on it. Just get a soft mallet, like a plastic mallet or a rubber mallet, beat that thing down. I don't know how I would ever get it off. And the same goes for the lid as well. My lid was screwed so tight, at first I was like, man, I'm pretty sure this lid unscrews, but I couldn't get it unscrewed by my hand, so I had to actually take the rubber mallet as well and a towel, so I didn't want to crack the plastic, and beat around until it loosened it enough. Now that it's loose, it's fine, as you can tell, and it's super easy. But and then you just screw it back on, as so. And then what happens is once it's a zero pressure, you'll hear a click in the solenoid in this thing. And this is touch screen. This is chargeable too. So roughly, I've used it 23 days now, and it hasn't put one dent in the battery yet. So I'm not exactly sure how long a charge on this will last. But overall, this product, and I'll leave a link in the description below as well if you're interested in this product, is the lid and this unit was 90 bucks. I'm totally pleased with it so far. Actually, I might get another one just because you don't want to mix strains, you know what I mean? So the first cure I did with this was moonshine cookies, and after that was, and I rotate when I harvest as well, so that way I'm chopping down one strain at a time so I don't get confused, because it can become overwhelming. But yeah, so I'll probably invest in another one of these as well. And the reason I chose the cure lid, because there's another unit you can get, is called the Cure Puck as well. And a big benefit of the Cure Puck is it's basically Bluetooth. It is a little more advanced than this one, but it is also $300. So as far as economics go and like budget friendly, I really like this. And what this overcomes is you having to burp your jars. If you're using mason jars or whatever container you're using to actually cure your cannabis, you constantly have to burp it. With this, it's pretty much just on autopilot, guys. It's basically an automatic burper, if you will. Because what will happen is certain gases will also build up within the bucket or container, whatever you're using, as you're curing it, that you don't want to contaminate the overall flavor. So guys, just remember that curing, you can still screw everything up at the end of the cure, and you don't want to screw your cure up, and you still have to be patient. And I'm telling you, the more patient you are, and the better you get with the cure, the happier you're going to be with your final product. So if you want to learn more about the cure lid, check out the description below. There's a link in it. It's just going to be an Amazon link, guys. And I'll also throw the cure lids video. I'll throw a cure lid video here and another video that I actually like. It gets deeper into the actual science of curing as well. So that's it, guys. Take it easy, stay green, and keep growing. Peace.